looking for a defender, passes it in the middle, turns it over. South Carolina as they'll go quick. It's Justin Sakau, passes it over to Trigov Ellingstad. So South Carolina will possess the ball here. Now it'll be Alex Bjork Christensen over in the left corner, tries a cross in, but John Pappas deflects it, and it looks like it'll be a corner near the throw-in flag for South Carolina.
So a corner kick to start off the game for the Gamecocks is a huge opportunity here just to start the offense here. The Gamecocks set piece here is a big play.
The throw-in goes into the box, a long throw-in, but ends up in the goalkeeper's hands as he tells his team to go up for the long punt here. Oh, he doesn't go with the punt. He rolls it out to Glukshot. Glukshot to Sturgiotis. Sturgiotis can't handle the pass, but he does. He corrals it and sends it back to Pappas. Pappas to Sturgiotis. Sturgiotis to Osmanu on the left side as they have some field here to work with. Sturgiotis back to sends it up to Lopez Mendez. Pappas now lobbies in the middle, looking for a pass. Sends it over to Sturgiotis on the left side. Sturgiotis cuts in the middle. Passes it back to Osmanu, who plays it up. Now it looks like Sturgiotis possesses it, but back to Osmanu. And it looks like Marshall just looking for something against the South Carolina back line, but they're definitely very stingy over Marquez.
And a little bit of back and forth ball as we've eclipsed just 5 minutes here in the first half. It tends to be like that in soccer games unless one team, like the Thundering Herd did in its last contest, just scores in the first 2 minutes of the ball game, which is allow another team to score just like that. So it will be interesting to see who will be the team that'll establish a rhythm and balance here at the
South Carolina has a throw-in on Marshall's half. So throw it into the right corner, and it deflects off Osmanu, so it'll be another throw-in for South Carolina near the corner flag. The throw-in goes to Mitchell Myers, who crosses it in before it's sent out by Glukshot via header.
Just a little bit out, nice and slow. There you go. That's better.
Those two players are lobbying for a position, and it'll be a foul on South Carolina, and it'll be a free kick for Marshall.
Two, when you're trying to find somebody, just be a little bit smoother and slower.
Hines will take it.
So jerky.
Right outside of his box. Hines. Ruiz to Osmanu on the left side of the field. And then it'll be switched over to Glukshot. Glukshot to Pappas. On the right side, Pappas cuts to the middle. Switches the field over to Sturgiotis, who's all alone. And he corrals it. And Sturgiotis sends it back to Osmanu. Osmanu sends a long ball. So what looks like to be Addy Dockwell, but he's called offside, so it's got South Carolina will have a free kick. And it'll be taken by South Carolina goalkeeper William Pop. Just about 10 yards out of the box. And he takes the free kick. Right to Kershaw, the captain, in the middle as he heads it out, but right back to South Carolina's back line.
All right, three, you're still up. Or you're not up, you're one. You're good.
As both teams are lobbying for possession here. Not before it's sent back to South Carolina's back line to their goalkeeper Pyle, who sends it out. A bit of pressure here by Marshall on South Carolina's back line. With Andre Street
3 I lost.
sends a pass up in the middle.
Is that
And it'll be a
cable
call
moving
here.
in?
And it looks like it'll be a free kick.
What do you mean that's moving?
Marquez, we definitely haven't seen
No,
the type
but,
of start we saw against
I'm more
Eastern
concerned with
Illinois
the
where
barrel.
Marshall was all 11 players were flying towards the ball and they were threatening just a minute
Okay,
into
well,
the
I got you
game.
now, so head back to the game.
That's a great point in the sense that Marshall is going for a different look here against the Gamecocks. As I said, it'll probably take the first 12, maybe 15 minutes of the first half to see, and for each of the teams to feel each other out, to see what adjustments need to be made in the second half of play.
And it'll be a free kick from Marshall here on their defensive end as it was a foul on South Carolina. Play back as Miles. The goalkeeper Himes. Himes, a nice little fake pass there, but flicks it over to Osmanu on the left side. Osmanu to Escuardo Ruiz in the middle. Ruiz to Sturgiotis. Addy Dackler, as he pushes it up, switches the field to Kershaw. He's all alone.
Ready 3, take 3.
Kershaw fakes the kick, or fakes the pass. Plays it to Addy Dackler again. Back to Pappas, about 10 yards outside the box. Pappas crosses it in, and it's met by a South Carolina defender who heads it out, but not before Pappas handles it again. Escuardo Ruiz has the ball. Nice little 1-2 game with Sturgiotis there. And Marshall will play it back to their back line again. As Manu to Escuardo Ruiz in the middle, in the midfield that is. And it'll be sent back to Glukshot. Who up top, but sends it back to Heim. Was there. Marshall is trying to control some possession here. Heim sends it right to Trigov Ellingstad in the middle as he kicks it out of bounds. Missed touch, and it'll be a Marshall goal kick.
And we see on that last play there, Nick, Ellingstad tried to have a hit from outside the box, well outside the box, and Himes wasn't on his line. So the Thundering Herd have made a mistake like that before, and Himes did allow a goal to score when they played Northern Illinois, I believe. And someone on that team hit a shot from midfield and on ESPN. And having Marshall bad at top 10 ESPN. So.
Right, and the midfielder thought he could catch Himes lacking there as he was a little overzealous there. He was playing off his line, and anytime as a midfielder you see the goalkeeper playing off his back line again, like every now and then you seem to test him with a long ball. As Pappas dribbles up the field, no pressure at all on the right side. He passes it over to Sturgiotis. Sturgiotis back to Glukshot at midfield. Glukshot sends it up to Addy Dakwar, who sends it to Sturgiotis in the middle. Sturgiotis sends it Lopez Mendez, who stands to no Marshall defender there. Great ball, just put a little bit too much on it. South Carolina kicks it out of bounds here on the right side of the field, and we'll go quick. Pappas throws it into Kershaw. Kershaw to Sturgiotis. Sturgiotis back to midfield, Osmanu. Osmanu to Dolabella, who boxes out his defender. Cuts to the middle, sends it up to Kershaw, but is intercepted by Lopez Mendez, and it'll be a foul on Andre Street, who put a leg in there and caught Lopez Mendez there. So it'll be a free kick from Marshall about 5 yards out.
I'm sure he's a little hurt on that one, but a little bit of theatrics here as he rolled 2 times as if he had been set on fire. So we know soccer players are also actors as well, so he's able to get up and draw the foul call and get hurt.
And Escuardo Ruiz standing where the free kick would be as the rest having a talking with the South Carolina players.
Maybe zoom a little bit in. Little tilt down, just right about there. I think that's what I'm going to do with it, camera 3.
He's going to be taken by Glukshot, looks
So
like,
ready,
as he lines up.
three, follow the ball. If he
Glukshot
keeps it handle
and
left a
Esquadro
little bit,
Ruiz.
so you
Esquadro Ruiz jumps
show
over.
the guy.
Glukshot takes the
There you
shot,
go. Follow.
deflects off of South Carolina player's
There you go.
back,
Follow the ball.
and it'll
Drop
be out
three.
of bounds. Marshall throw-in.
Yep, there you go.
And it'll
Free
be
time to
Kershaw
play out.
taking the throw-in, I believe. This looks like it'll be a long throw-in here. Kershaw sends it in for Dolabella. Back to midfield. Himes. Himes playing about 20 yards outside of the box. He sends it back up. Looking for Sturgiotis, but looks like it'll be out of bounds. And it'll be South Carolina ball.
Yep, there you go. 3 on the whatever it is. Throw-in.
It'll be a South Carolina throw in there. Two players going for a 50-50
Yep,
ball
about
just
there.
collided.
3, take 3.
The free kick is taken by South Carolina.
1 is up.
The ball is up.
3 is just for a tripod a little, so you're not
Finds
quite so
Esquadro Ruiz, who heads it
shaky,
out, but not before South Carolina holds it.
just work adjusting. It looks like it catches a
It's
lot.
about 31 minutes into this contest, or 31 minutes left in this contest. It'll be 0-0 right now, as both teams have looked pretty even so far, wouldn't you say, Marquez?
I would have to say in the latter half of the first half,
2's up.
14 minutes have passed here, and we haven't really seen much for either team. We've seen one corner kick
Down.
and a shot on goal for South Carolina. No corner kicks and no shots on goal for the Thundering Herd. So surprisingly
Stay with it. 2, you're
enough,
still up.
they haven't picked up where they left off against Eastern Illinois.
And you touched on it a bit earlier. Both teams just look like they're trying to feel each other out here.
They look like the
And
Eagles helmets.
Marshall's definitely not going to get their 27 shots off like they did against Eastern Illinois. As the free kick is taken by Marshall. The Matt Morgan, South Carolina. Ellingstad, who sends it back to his defender. Before it's sent up and turned over, it looks like Glukshot will let it roll out for a Marshall throw-in.
That's really classy.
And Pappas will take the throw-in close to midfield.
And then you got like
Pappas sends it up the line, looking for Lopez Mendez. Who turns it over, and Erickson has the ball for South Carolina. It's kicked out and it'll be South Carolina throwing. Christensen has the throw in here to Meyer. It's quickly depossessed by Kershaw, and Esquadro Ruiz sends it up quick, looking for Dolabella. Over to the left side of the field. Now Sturgiotis has some field to work with. Sturgiotis sends it back to Dolabella. Who sends it to Esquadro Ruiz. Side all alone.
Ready. 3, push it. Yeah,
So
there you go.
look for a
3.
pass.
Ready. 3, take
Does a
3.
nice little step over. Sends it to the middle. Marshall player sends it back to Pappas on the right side. And
All right, it's gonna be a
number
Marshall throw.
12, Erickson kicks it out of bounds for South Carolina. It'll be a Marshall throw.
Thank you. Up.
Marshall goes quick, sends the throw in to Addy Dakwar, sends it in the middle to Sturgiotis, who
Alright,
looks like he
slow
tries
push on the goal.
to
There you
chip
go.
the back line of South Carolina, but it'll be a goal kick for South Carolina.
Do it. Put the ball down. Kick it. Foot.
It's a beautiful day here in Virginia. No big shade on the field as it's even play. It's sunny and cloudy at the same. Sunny with a bunch of clouds, excuse me, but it'll be a good game for both teams as there's no conditions that'll make the playing field uneven.
Man, there's a slight breeze. It's just a beautiful day for any type of outdoor activity. Like for us, we get to call it a great game here today, as it'll be South Carolina throwing on their defensive half.
Little like go. Oh, it's a screen.
Number 16, Christensen has it thrown. He throws it up the line, past midfield. Looking for Meyer, but nothing doing there as Marshall defender heads it up. South Carolina throw in again. And the same exact thing just happened, and it'll be Christensen with a Christensen Meyer. The Luke shot is there, and he kicks it backwards in efforts to clear it, and somewhat successful, but South Carolina possesses the ball in midfield. Morgan kicks it back to his goalie, Pyle. Pyle sends it up the left side of the field, but it's turned over, and Osmani clears it.
Like I showed this video I found from, I think it was the first game of
Osmani looked
sophomore
for
year.
Lopez Mendez, but he was just behind the back line, and it would be an offsides goal.
And actually, they have a good freshman. Now that I think about it, but it's just all of us like cracking their
And Lopez, Escuadra Ruiz has the ball on the left side. Okay. To Dolabella, but it is depossessed. But not before John Pappas finds it on the right side
With a really good shot there.
and plays it back to his back line. Now Escuadra Ruiz has it, sends it over to the left side of the field. Marshall looking for some through balls and long balls, but nothing doing here in the opening 15 minutes of this game. As Pappas has it in midfield, switches it over to the left side to Escuadra Ruiz. As it's turned over, South Carolina has possession. Sakau has the ball, and he turns it over, and now Manu has it. He passes it to Glukshot on the back line. And Marquez, what can you say about this back line of Marshall? See how Marshall, that's just really impressed me so far this season.
Well, they're very persistent, and head coach Grassi likes to switch it up, as usually before it would be Sheminsky and Tavy on the back line, but now with a Kershaw and Pappas back line, and Osmanu as well, they've been able to gel together and had some success. As you said, Himes has only given up 3 goals, and that means the defense has been very good as well. So.
Right, and they have a sense of urgency on that back line, but they also have a very good chemistry. And I think that comes because of the captain. Dolabella on the left side sends it back to Escuadra Ruiz, who sends it back to Osmanu. Osmanu switches the field to Glukshot. Glukshot sends it over to Kershaw. Kershaw back to Glukshot on the right side, closest to our broadcasting booth. And Glukshot sends it up, looks for Lopez Mendez, who possesses it via his chest right outside the box, but not before a South Carolina defender kicks it out of bounds. So it'll be Pappas on the right side here. Fakes it outside, goes inside, finds Sturgiotis, but Sturgiotis is quickly depossessed by a South Carolina defender from behind, and South Carolina will have the ball, but not before Marshall takes the ball away with some very good pressure here. And that's some pressure we've seen from their last game, where all 11 players just sort of made it tough for the Eastern Illinois team. That's something we're seeing now.
I run replays for basketball.
As Lopez Mendez sends it out to the left side to Sturgiotis. Sturgiotis cuts right, cuts left, loses the defender, sends it in. But it'll be a goal kick as it went wide right, as there was no defender on that back line or back post to put it in the back of the net.
And there's going to be a couple substitution here, as it looks like for the Thundering Herd, Chris Tavy and Lewis Knight. Lewis Knight did not start the contest today, so that's something it's going to be exciting to watch, as he has been nothing but electric all season.
And it'll be Sturgiotis, Escuadra Ruiz, and subbed out for Chris Tabby. Some fresh legs and there'll be substitutions for South Carolina, as well as number 8, Jared Golden, comes into this contest, and number 6, Kay Int Vent. So goal kick by South Carolina. As Marshall possesses it at midfield, and Lewis Knight already has the ball. He sends it over to the right side to Roberts. Roberts crosses it in as it's met by a South Carolina defender who heads it out.
As this young Thundering Herd team and head coach Chris Grassi has been experimenting with lineups, especially on a good ball game like today. As you saw, we saw their two most electric players, and on the defensive and offensive side, come off the in the first half. So just trying to save some legs here for the better half of the contest.
Yeah, and it's always good you can have a player like Lewis Knight buy in to come up some contests. He's only a freshman, but he is among the top leaders in goals in the nation in the NCAA, so definitely a huge boost off the bench as Escuadro Ruiz finds Addy Dakwar in the middle. Dakwar passes it to Roberts on the right side and passes it back to Pappas. Pappas looks for the through ball. Lewis Knight, he's in the box as he dribbles out to the right side near the corner flag. Roberts sends it in, and he just misses the head of Tabby, and it'll be South Carolina ball on the right side. They'll go quick, but not before it's turned over. And that looks like it was Escuadro Ruiz who got possession as it's played back to Marshall's back line. Osmanu at midfield passes it up to Kershaw.
Lewis Knight is tied second in the country with 6 goals, and he trails the #1 leader in goals, Mamadou Rouassi from NJIT. He has 9 goals this season, so Lewis Knight looking for his 7th on the season today.
And that just comes from the fact that Lewis Knight is very disruptive as a player. He has a nose for the ball. He just seems to always be around the ball, and we've seen it a lot this season. He's put a lot in the back of the net, and he's been a pleasant surprise for this Marshall team as a freshman nonetheless. South Carolina will have the ball. Number 28, Spencer Mester, has the ball before Marshall defender kicks out of bounds, so it'll be a throw in South Carolina. It's deep possessed, so it'll be Kershaw in midfield, playing it back to his back line, Osmanu. Osmanu switches a fluke shot, 4-yard marker, the half. Fluke shot to Pappas, who has some time, finds Escuadro Ruiz. Ruiz finds Knight. Knight passes it out to Roberts on the right corner. Knight crosses it in, but again finds another South Carolina defender who clears it out. Looks like it'll be a foul here on Lewis Knight as his leg caught a South Carolina defender.
3 on goalie, ready.
And the ref was having none of it.
3, you're up.
So it'll be a free kick by South Carolina, just a couple yards out of their box. So there's 19 minutes remaining in this contest, 0-0. This matchup very even. Is quickly cleared by Pappas, and it'll be another foul on Lewis Knight, who was lobbying for position and got South Carolina defender Christensen on the ground there, and that'll be an easy call for the ref to make. As number 7, Luca Meyer will take the free kick at exactly midfield here, closest to our broadcasting booth. He sends it up. It'll be in the box. And it falls right to a South Carolina defender, or forward that is, and it looks like it was Gilligan. Bounced right in front of him, but he didn't have a great angle on it. And therefore, the ball went right out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick for Marshall.
So going about 20. Also, that comes with the territory of having your 2 of your best offensive players sitting on the bench that were very busy in the first half of last week's game, or the previous game the Herd had, and they are known to be more of a second half team this season at least. So it may come later in the match for the Thundering Herd, but as of late, they have not been able to get anything mustered up on offense.
And for goalkeepers, I know that most of them would prefer to see some shots in the early going just so they can get a flow of the game and they're not not rusty. About 30 minutes into the contest, and they haven't shots. Marshall, the front line there defensive half, so.
Lewis Knight letting the referee have it.
Or the kick against
Lewis Knight has been on the wrong end of a few calls here in the early goings as he came off the bench. He's showing his displeasure with the referee as the free kick will be taken by number 7 Meyer. Meyer sends it into the box. Himes comes out, tracks it very well, and makes the save.
And ready to take 2.
We'll play fast, we'll roll it out to Sturgiotis.
Ready 1.
Sturgiotis makes a beautiful cut upfield and sends it over to Tabby on the right side as he's overlapped by Pappas. Pappas on the right side of the field now. Pass, he finds Kershaw, he sends it to Lopez Mendez on the right side. Nice little fake pass by Lopez Mendez, but he plays it back to Glukshot. Glukshot switches the field over to Diaz Salcido.
There you go.
And it'll be a throw-in for Marshall as it was kicked out by a South Carolina defender.
Free kick there.
Kershaw now has it, tries to send it in the middle, gets poked out by a South Carolina player, and it'll be number 6, Venn, who has the ball. Venn finds Christensen. Not before he's met by a slew of Marshall midfielders, and it's depossessed. Tabby on the right side now. Sends it to number 6, Escuadro Ruiz. Now Lopez Mendez. Lopez Mendez and number 12, Erickson, collide, and it'll be a free kick for Marshall.
Take 2.
Lopez sends it out.
1.
Tries to find Lopez Mendez again. There's a little bit of miscommunication with South Carolina ball.
A nice slide tackle there, as that's part of the game that we don't really get to see unless you're watching the professionals. It's kind of a lost art of the game in soccer, especially at the collegiate level. But when effective, it's definitely a huge confidence booster for the defense and for the offense for the Thundering Herd.
And it'll be Pappas here on the right
So
side.
there, like I can't. Yep, there you go. That's what I need.
He looks to cross it in,
Take 3.
and he gets bodied by number 16,
Slowly
Christensen.
pan to the right, 3, and show me the
It'll
goalie.
be out of bounds on Pappas as there was no call there, and it'll just be a goal kick for.
Three, I lost you again. Ready 2. Take 2. I'll drop 2 and send it over there.
Loading the kick, and there it
Ready
is.
1, take
By
1.
South Carolina. It's quickly depossessed, and it will be Marshall ball. Lopez Mendez has it. Finds Taby.
There's your camera off.
Taby sends it back to Glukshot. And Glukshot passes it back to
So I'll
Himes.
get black.
Himes finds Escuadro Ruiz, and Escuadro Ruiz sending it back to Glukshot on the right side. And a nice little 1-2 game by Pappas and Lopez Mendez. Now it'll be Lewis Knight in the middle. He's cutting up the field, has some grass here to work
3
with.
gets to the ball.
But he runs into 3 South Carolina defenders, and he's quickly depossessed. South Carolina tries to get it out.
White on, right.
It'll be number 13, Morgan, who sends it up there. And Escuadro Ruiz sends it over to Pappas on the right side. Pappas with a nice through ball, Lopez Mendez over to Taby. Taby in the middle. Finds Kershaw. Kershaw tries to find Sturgiotis,
Take 3.
but
3 up,
number
slow
3,
push.
Wallander Inez, depossesses him. As they're fighting for position here on the left side of the field near the corner.
Right.
And it'll be
Ready,
Marshall's
1,
first
take
free
1.
kick of the contest.
It looks like it's
In
gonna
last
be a
game,
corner kick.
Marquez, we saw a lot of free kicks by
camera 2 to
Marshall,
the
and I think
corner,
that was one of
camera 3 show me the goal.
the weaker aspects of their
Ready,
game is
2.
they weren't able to find a lot of players on
Just about pan
in the
left just a
box.
little bit. Ready 2. Take 2.
You have offensive end, so as you stated earlier, they haven't really been able to show that same fierce attack in the first half, at least. So still a little bit of time here left in the first half to see maybe a glimpse of that, and it'll proceed to the second half.
And Knight with the free kick, and then a quick foul was called on a Marshall defender, just lobbying for position in there. And it'll be a free kick for South Carolina. So nothing going in this contest for either team so far. There's 12 minutes remaining and it's still 0-0. And Pyle will have the goal kick for South Carolina. The kick is up near midfield. Looking for Erickson. Erickson heads it in the middle. Right to Christensen, who sends it up. Looked like Pappas there was a miscommunication with his goalie Himes, and Himes had to come out of the box and quickly clear it. And the South Carolina ball. Christensen passes it in the middle to Erickson. Erickson passes it right to Sturgiotis.
It's just a little too quick. So
on the left side. And Sturgiotis passes it back to Escuadra Ruiz. Escuadra Ruiz looks up quickly, sends it back to Osmanu, who sends it to Pappas on the right side, who cuts in the midfield. Pappas looking for his teammate, finds Escuadra Ruiz on the left side, as he has some room to work with, as he cuts down the middle. Lopez sends right side to Pappas, who also has some room to work with. Fakes the cross, sends it to Tavy. Tavy crosses it in, finds a South Carolina defender, and it's cleared out, but not before Kershaw has it at the top of the box. He's quickly depossessed by number 17, Gilligan, for South Carolina. South Carolina quickly turns it over. Now Kershaw possesses the ball in midfield. Sends it over to the left side to Escuadra Ruiz. And it's kicked out, and it will be South Carolina throwing. My apologies, it'll be players lagging for position. It looks like take the kick about 15 yards out. Takes the kick, sends it in the middle of the box. It's found by a slew of South Carolina defenders, and it's cleared out quickly. Now Diaz Salcido will have the ball. He sends it up quick to Tavy on the right side as he lays it back to Pappas. Pappas looks for a pass, finds Lopez Mendez in the middle. Tries a quick through ball to Escuadra Ruiz, but nothing doing. As Tavy will possess it now and send it back to Pappas.
10 minutes left.
Pappas to Lopez Mendez. Lopez Mendez tries to find Tavy, but another miscommunication, and it'll roll out of bounds, South Carolina. At the exact minute, there'll be a sub for South Carolina.
Like over towards the
Number 17. For number 21, Chandler Corley. And number 10, Tucker Mohamer will come in for South Carolina.
That means they're like exchanging.
That'll be Marshall Wall in midfield. Diaz Salcido. Salcido tries to find Tavy on the left side, and he does, close to the left corner flag, as he's met by two defenders, so he has to play it back to Escuadra Ruiz. And Roberts possesses the ball on the left side and tried to back heel, but nothing doing there, and it sailed right out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for South Carolina. Marquez, what can Marshall do to hopefully many shots on goal? The heads just aren't there for Marshall.
Well, we talked about it before the game, Nick. Both of these teams are trying their best and trying to see who will establish the rhythm first, but with the different lineup change, Marshall's rhythm is on a different pace right now, and I would say both teams have been playing on their own pace, and Marshall hasn't really been able to establish the offensive pace yet, but coming with time, it will be interesting to see if the Thundering Herd will be able to play as we saw in their last matchup with 10 shots in just one half. Thundering Herd, but increase their chances of getting a W today. Excuse me.
And Glukshot will possess it on the left side. And Marshall's back line. He looks for Lewis Knight up top, as it's quickly headed out by Andre Street. Pappas with the throw. Plays it back to Glukshot. At midfield, Glukshot sends it to Himes. He's about 10 yards outside of his box, but quickly plays it to Escuadra Ruiz. Now Ruiz Osmanu on the right side, and nothing doing there as he'll send it back to Himes as well. Himes to Escuadra, Himes to Glukshot, that is, on the right side, as he pulls it back and plays it back to Osmanu again. Osmanu to Escuadra Ruiz. And he pushes up. Looks like Pappas is calling for the ball on the right side. Both teams trying to possess the ball in midfield and nothing doing again. And Osmanu possesses it on the right side of the field. Now back to Himes. As there's 7 minutes remaining in this matchup. Now Himes sends it back to Osmanu. Osmanu finds Kershaw. Pretty big touch there, but corrals it and sends it back to Himes. And the South Carolina team looks like they're ramping up this pressure, and they're not letting Marshall get into any rhythm. It seems.
Given Marshall a little bit of notice, as we saw in Marshall's previous matchup, turning up the heat on both ends of the field. So South Carolina is no Eastern Illinois by far.
Yeah, right. When you say that, Marshall has a possession that lasted a good length of the field, and it's crossed by Sturgiotis, but he finds the goalkeeper as there was no player there, as they just didn't have the numbers. So it'll be a goal kick, not a goal kick, but it'll be possessed by the goalkeeper right now. William Pop, who rolls it out of his box. There's not a defender or player within 30 yards of him, so he rolls it out, kicks it, and it's depossessed by Marshall quickly as Tavy tries to possess it in midfield, but kicks it out of bounds, and that'll be throw in for number 6, Lynn, for South Carolina. Benny hands it off. On the throw-in, plays it up the line to Corley. He's met by Osmanu, and then a couple players lobbying for a handball there in the box, but nothing doing there. So Osmanu has to quickly throw it out of bounds, and it'll be another South Carolina throw-in. Christensen has the throw-in near the left corner flag. And it looks like it'll be a long one here. And the throw is up. Quickly headed out by the captain, Glukshot. Knight tries to is met by a couple South Carolina players, and it's possessed by number 26 Street for South Carolina. Strasses it back to Morgan over on the right side, but it's quickly kicked by number 7 Roberts, who if he had one more step on it, looked like he was going to have a lot of field to work with and possibly a one-on-one.
But you know what they say in sports, no one travels faster than the ball, so it was a good defensive effort there, but just a little bit, the ball was going a little bit too fast there.
South Carolina has some numbers here on the right side. It'll be number 21 Corey. He sends it in, but it'll be quickly cleared out by Escuadra Ruiz, who makes a great defensive play. Now Lopez Mendez sends it back to Pappas. Lopez Mendez possesses it on the right side, and they'll send it back to Pappas again. This is South Carolina rush. Remaining. Both teams trying to find a rhythm. Glukshot switches the field over to Osmanu. Diaz Salcido looks for Roberts in the middle, and he finds him. Roberts has some room. Through ball to Lewis Knight. Lewis Knight has a shot, and it's kicked right to the goalkeeper pile. But a great effort by Lewis Knight, who
So
beat that back line. And
no surprise there, as Lewis Knight, the primary goal scorer in the nation, one of the primary goal scorers in the nation, gets the first shot on goal for the Herd. So a little bit with under 3 minutes left to go. So kind of a slow start, sluggish start for the Herd, but that's a good sign. Shot on the ball.
Great opportunity by Lewis Knight. And South Carolina plays it up quickly. Number 20, McCoy has it on the right side. Cuts it back to the middle, has some room, looking for a teammate. And he has number 6, Ben. Ben crosses it in, finds Kershaw, who clears it out immediately. And now Christensen possesses it in the midfield. About 10 yards outside of the box, looking for another teammate. He passes it to Ben on the left side.
Ready two, take two.
Who finds number 25, or 26 that is, Street, but nothing doing there. He got a head on it, but there are no defenders, there are no offensive players up there, and headed it right to the goal. Himes. It's played quick. Lopez Mendez has it in the middle. Finds Roberts on the left side. Quick. Squeaks in. Street recovers very well, and it'll be Marshall's second corner kick of the matchup here.
Ready, one, take one. All right, corner kick.
Looks like Lewis
Do what
Knight
we did
will be
last
taking
time.
it.
3, give me that wider shot. 2 to the corner. 2 to the corner.
And there's a minute 30 left, so now would be a great time for Marshall to steal a goal here in what's been a very close matchup.
Ready, 3.
Lewis Knight throws his hands up,
We go to 3.
ready to kick. Corner kick is up.
And 3 is up.
And it's headed out by South Carolina defender, but went right to Kershaw, who tried to get it off the volley, tried to catch everyone lacking, but sends it out, and it'll be a goal kick for South Carolina.
Missed opportunity by the Herd. Another shot goal. Lacking on that, and
like a bigger guy.
South Carolina was able to read that one a step ahead of Kershaw on the Herd.
There's 45 seconds remaining, and South Carolina will have the goal kick. And it'll go right to Osman, who heads it back, and then he heads it back to Himes. Himes has it now, 30 seconds left. Took some time off, and now he picks it up. Himes urging his players to play up. Taking as much time as possible, takes the punt, a booming punt, and finds Street for South Carolina. Christensen clears it out. Kershaw possesses the ball. 10 seconds left. Lewis has it on the right side. Quickly sends it by Christensen. And that'll be the half there. 0-0 at the half. And Marquez, what are your initial thoughts for both teams?
A kind of a stalemate here, as each team has one shot on goal. Marshall with the advantage in the corner kicks, and both goalkeepers haven't really been tested. So one half in the books here. There's not really a clear front runner, if I had to say so myself. The stat sheet, like I said, favors Marshall with the extra corner kick, but South Carolina has been playing very well as well.
One is up.
Yeah, and we'll step aside for a quick break. It's Marshall 0, South Carolina 0 at the half. And we'll be back here on the Cutting Edge Sports Radio Network.
Remind me.
Man, I can't wait for graduation next week. We'll be through with college forever. You still plan on going to? Mike, you all right, man?
Mike had planned on spending the week after graduation at the beach, but he would spend it in the hospital, in a coma, paralyzed.
Man, I knew Mike was way too drunk to be driving.
Sometimes, drinking and driving may not sound like a bad idea, but think before you drink, unless the ER is where you would like to spend your time. Don't drink and drive, and don't let your friends drink and drive either. This message is a public service announcement brought to you by your friends at 88.1 WMUL Huntington.
Only
one station can rise up and save the day. WMUL. This fearless team of genres fights to bring better radio to the citizens of Huntington. There's no need to fear. Win! Captain Alternative! Iron Blue! Ripple and Street Beast.
38-10 now, Joe.
Metal
38-10 WU now.
Flashback
They're
King.
killing it now.
Living Gospel.
The Rock Eye.
Now you're getting your second half. I'm gonna let Joe go after. Still good over there.
Team, assemble. When you're trapped by
Yeah,
bad
right
radio.
now. But, you're like back to the second half.
Tune in. 81. Cutting edge. Be ready to save the day.
Now back to the Veterans Memorial Soccer Complex and the Cutting Edge Sports Radio Network crew. The halftime show begins now.
Oh, my darling, I love the tango, and I love you.